Hello everybody, hopefully you're watching this video directly after the previous one where we went through creating this flowchart, and in the end of that video I briefly spoke about how we actually would probably want to change this looking out for our stop from being a process to a loop, because we're constantly really asking ourselves a question here is it our stop? It's a no, so we ask it again, is it our stop? No, and so on. And eventually that becomes, is it our stop? Yes. So we continue to move on. So that's what we would call a loop. Something that's happening constantly until essentially we break out of that loop and do something else. So really we would actually demonstrate that or show that in our flowchart with another question. So I want to show you how you would actually do it, because I couldn't leave the video where it actually was. For neatness sake, I'm going to make some adjustments first. So really, I'm going to start by taking out this lookout for our stop and cleaning up those lines that have just joined together. I'm also going to move all of this stuff around, and you'll see why in a moment. Basically what I want is when the answer to is it my stop is yes, I want to be able to come down, and when it's no, I want to be able to loop around. You'll see all of that in just a moment. So let's again bring in a new diamond. In fact, I'm going to copy this one because we took the effort of coloring it last video. So let's reuse it. We can still chuck it in here, and of course change the text to be, is it our stop? Or is it my stop potentially? Let's just leave it as that. Okay, so there is our question. So both of these are still coming into here just like before. So we're either sitting down and then asking this question, or we're standing holding on and then asking this question. That is okay. And this can still be our yes, it is our stop. So we're going to come down and tap off our my key, eventually get off the bus and be at the end. I'm just trying to straighten everything. So let's again call this yes. Okay, so we've essentially just almost replaced what we had before, but now we've got this question here. And this is the looping part. When is it our stop is no, we want to come out because it's still an option. It's coming off of the question, and we want to come back on ourself. Okay, so I'm taking out this one and I'm bringing it back around in the top here. I could, I suppose, come in the bottom, but where possible, we usually come into things from the top or the side and come out from the bottom. It's just sort of a convention that we try to follow. So let's bring it into here. And what you'll see is we have this loop. Let's label that as no. So again, double click on it and just label it as no. And then let's see how that works. So let's jump in at this point. Is there a seat? Yes. We sit down. We come down this way. We can't follow that line because there's no arrow going this way. We're still following straight down. We ask the question, is it our stop? No, it's not. So we follow out here and we end up coming back in. Again, we can't go up because there is no arrow pointing up. The only arrow points into the question. So is it our stop? No. Is it our stop? No. We're in this loop. Eventually, is it our stop? We say yes, and we flow through the yes line and continue towards the end. And of course, the same thing happens if we come through, is there a seat? No, we stand up, we come through, ask the question, we end up in this loop until the answer is yes, and we flow out. So that is a better way of really showing this line, because we were in fact looping ourselves, asking a question constantly, looking out that window saying, is my stop coming up? Are we there yet, basically? And that is a much more efficient way of showing it. In my class, especially if this is a very early project, I would have accepted the first version where we didn't have a loop, because there's a high chance that we haven't talked about it yet. But again, if you're watching this ahead or we have talked about it, then this is a more accurate representation and a more deep understanding of what in fact is going on in this set of instructions or in this algorithm. So I hope that makes some sense to you. Most of it, as I said, stay the same apart from a bit of reorganization, but the real change is we've now learned how we can show a loop in our question. Okay, so again, hope that makes sense, and it's a little add-on to what we did in the previous video.